Welcome to Advice About Sexuality. In today's video, we're diving deep into an important topic for young females. What happens when you ignore her? It's shocking. What if I told you that silence could be one of your most powerful weapons? That the very act of stepping back and saying absolutely nothing could trigger a series of reactions that change everything? The reality is, most men fail to recognize the immense influence of simply walking away. Not as a sign of weakness or surrender, but as a well-calculated move. When you withdraw your attention from a woman, her reaction speaks volumes, often louder than any words she might say. Now, let's be honest. Most men are deeply afraid of going silent. They equate it with losing control, appearing disinterested, or even being perceived as weak. But here's the raw truth. Chasing, pleading, or trying to justify yourself only erodes your power. Women are not drawn to men who constantly seek approval. Rather, they are intrigued by those who stand firm in their self-worth, even in the face of rejection. The moment you disengage, something shifts in the dynamic. Whether she acknowledges it or not, she feels it. Thoughts begin swirling in her mind. Why isn't he calling? Did he lose interest? Has he moved on to someone else? Suddenly, the script is flipped. The very man she once felt confident ignoring becomes the one she cannot get out of her head. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Not every woman responds to silence in the same way. Some will chase after you relentlessly, desperate to regain your attention. Others will push boundaries in an attempt to reclaim control over the situation. And then there are those who won't react at all, because they never genuinely valued you in the first place. Understanding these different responses is key to recognizing whether she is worth your energy or just a passing distraction. In this video, we'll break down the psychology behind a woman's reaction to your silence. You'll learn how to spot the subtle signs that she's feeling your absence, why she behaves the way she does, and how you can use this knowledge to maintain your power. If you've ever found yourself trapped in a frustrating cycle of chasing someone who keeps pulling away, consider this your wake-up call. Silence is not an ending. It's the beginning of a completely different game. A game where, for once, you take control. 1. She starts chasing you for validation. The moment you stop reaching out to a woman, something interesting happens. She begins questioning herself. This effect is especially pronounced if she has grown accustomed to you always being available, always initiating conversations, or always attempting to fix things when there's a disagreement. Your silence, once unnoticed, now feels deafening. And the attention she once took for granted, suddenly, it feels like a void she's desperate to fill. Why does this happen? It all comes down to human psychology. Validation is a powerful force. When you consistently provide attention, affection, and reassurance, she feels secure in your presence, almost as if it's a given. But the moment that validation is removed, an element of uncertainty is introduced. Women, like anyone else, crave certainty. They want to feel appreciated, desired, and admired. When you pull away, she begins to feel the emptiness of your validation, and that void triggers a reaction. At first, it might seem subtle. She may respond to your social media posts more quickly, laugh a little too hard at your jokes, or bring up old inside jokes to re-establish a connection. But as time passes, her efforts will likely become more direct. She might reach out with a casual, "Hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Or she might bring up a seemingly random topic just to get a response from you. Understand this. This is not just about missing your messages. It's about needing confirmation that she still matters to you. For many women, validation is like a mirror. It reflects their worth in someone else's eyes. When you take that mirror away, she starts chasing it. 2. She tests your boundaries to regain control. One of the first things a woman may do when you withdraw is test your boundaries. Often, this is not even a conscious decision. It's a reflexive action aimed at regaining the control she feels she has lost. Think of it this way. By pulling away, you've altered the balance she was comfortable with. Suddenly, she is uncertain of where she stands with you, and that uncertainty drives her to test you. At first, these tests may come in the form of playful or teasing messages. I guess you're too busy for me now. Wow, you've gone quiet all of a sudden. These messages are not casual observations. They are designed to gauge your reaction and see if you will fall back into your old patterns of chasing her. If you respond instantly, you confirm that she still holds control over the situation. But if these subtle attempts fail, she may escalate her tactics. She might try to make you jealous by casually mentioning other men or posting suggestive pictures with cryptic captions. The goal is not necessarily to move on, but to provoke a reaction from you. Most men make the mistake of taking the bait. They respond defensively or try to explain themselves, but doing so only confirms that her boundary test worked. Instead, hold your ground. When you refuse to react to her provocations, she is forced to confront the reality that you are not as easily controlled as she thought. 3. She pretends not to care, but secretly overthinks everything. Perhaps one of the most confusing responses you'll encounter is when a woman acts as if your silence doesn't bother her. She may behave as though she's completely unbothered, but in reality, she's overthinking every little detail. Women often hide vulnerability, especially when they feel they might be losing control. So rather than openly expressing that your absence is affecting her, she will pretend she's completely fine. However, behind the scenes, she is hyper-aware of your every move. She will notice if you post something online, if you're seen with other people, or even if you simply take too long to read her messages. She will analyze every action, trying to decipher your intentions. This overthinking is proof that your silence is working. The more she tries to convince herself that she doesn't care, the more obvious it becomes that she does. 4. She seeks validation from someone else. There's always the possibility that she may seek validation elsewhere. This doesn't necessarily mean she is trying to replace you, but it could mean that her ego needs soothing. But here's the truth. If she immediately turns to another man for attention, she likely never valued you as much as you thought. Some women are addicted to external validation. They constantly need reassurance from someone, and if you don't provide it, they will seek it elsewhere. If this happens, take it as a sign that you dodged a bullet. 5. She disappears completely. The truth about indifference. Finally, there are cases where a woman may simply disappear without a trace. No attempts to reach out, no passive-aggressive messages, nothing. This reaction often means one of two things. Either she was never truly invested, or she is attempting to regain control by making you wonder about her. Either way, the best response is the same. Stand your ground. Let her absence reveal the truth. Conclusion. The harsh reality that many men refuse to accept is this. If a woman is truly interested in you, she won't seek validation elsewhere the moment you withdraw. If she does, that speaks more about her than it does about you. Know your worth. Stop chasing those who don't appreciate you. And most importantly, understand that silence is not a game. It's a test of true connection. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced a woman reacting to your silence in a surprising way? Let's discuss.